What's up, YouTube? This video is about romance anime in general. It's about describing a romance anime, and there's also my recommendations for romance animes to watch, and well, some information about it too. So, anyways, without further ado, let's get it started. Now, personally, I want to start it off with something a little bit controversial, so beware of the first one. And this list is not really made in order, but there are scores that I've put for each series on the picture. So I guess let's start with that, shall we? Okay, so first thing first. As I said, this will be a more controversial pick. Nanatakaru. Why is it controversial? Well, if you're interested in the details, stay tuned because I'm just going through the list first, and then afterwards I will get into further details for those who want the actual detail. Next is Fruit Basket. This is also recommended, really nice, and it's kind of chill paced. The soundtracks are awesome as well. There's Koito Senkyu the Chocolate. This one's really highly recommended by myself. Bakuman. This one blew my mind away. Nagi no Asukara. This one is just proof that age don't matter in anime. Golden Time. This one is proof that anime don't have to be far-fetched. It doesn't have to be isekai for weird things to happen, but for it to still be enjoyable. And then moving on, Ookami to Koushinryou. Now, if you're a fan of this one before, I have a good news for you. If you decide to trust my recommendation this time and like it, I also have a good news for you later on. Oregairu, or Yahari ore no seishun love kome wa Machigatteiru. This one is just straight out nice. I mean, it's famous for a reason. Horimiya. If you don't know this one, you're living under a cave. Go watch it, you won't regret it. Saenai Heroine no Sodatekata. This is also one of those things where it's just nice. You have time to let the characters sink in and all that, so it's definitely enjoyable. So, for those of you who only wants the recommendation list, there you go. That's it. That's all this video is for you. But for those of you who wants the details, the news, the info, this is where the video should start for you. Now, Nanato Kaoru. The main theme for this one is BDSM. Now, the episode itself, this is more like a movie, but not really. It's just a one-time thing. It's not that long, but it's definitely enjoyable. And believe it or not, this actually has a live action, which just feels awkward to watch. But hey, if you want to enjoy that, there's that option for you. So, yeah. I mean, if you want to watch a live action, go watch it, I guess. But yeah, the main theme about it is BDSM. So if you're into that stuff, this is probably a watch that you can enjoy. Fruits Basket. Now, this one specifically refers to the 2019 version. It's a remake version. There's actually an original version which aired way before 2019, and while that one's not bad, the art style is old, so if you're a younger viewer, younger audience, you might not enjoy it as much. And because the manga did not end back then, but apparently anime just had to end back then for some reason, they had to make some alterations. Some characters just straight out did not appear whatsoever. So if you want the full experience that's more faithful to the original work, go with the 2019 remake. You will not be disappointed. It's really enjoyable. The soundtrack is amazing. Plus the opening and ending. I mean, it might not match your style if you like the normal type of anime opening and ending, but the songs themselves, they hit the spot for me. Koito Senkyu to Chocolate. Now this one has a special place in my heart. I really like this one. And since the source material is a visual novel, if you don't like where the anime's ending left off, if you don't agree with how the anime executed it, you can buy the game and play it yourself. That way you can unlock different stories, you can end up with different girls, because yes, this is a dating sim. And beware, this is a warning for children, do not, I repeat, do not buy and play the game. This is an adult game, if you know what I mean. Now, Bakuman, the anime itself, it's okay. As a romance, you barely see any romantic scene. It's just a constant reminder that this guy's working for a dream, a promise that he made with a girl. But why is it on this list? Why is it getting a 9? Well, there are many side characters. Their romance stories are also on display here, and that's kind of good enough for it to be on this list. But the 9 itself is not because of just that. The 9 itself is because this series actually blew me away the first time I watched it. So they made a reference with Scat Dance, and it's amazing because the mangaka for this and Scat Dance is not the same. It's just that they have the same publisher and the same studio working on it, I think. And the very fact that they did, even though it's not in accordance to original material, or at least I think it's not, sorry if I forgot and got it wrong, it's something that I totally don't mind because the change is inconsequential and it's amazing. It just shows how much the community can work together, not only from the consumer side, but also from the creator side. And it's just these kind of things that makes me feel once again that you know what? It's an amazing world, and this is an amazing culture. And I don't like it when people look down on it. Nagi no Asukara. What I mean when I say age don't matter, I don't mean lollies. No, no, not lollies. You can like lollies, you can play with lollies, you can watch lollies, but don't touch. See? Lolly, yes, no touch. Well, if you want to be a decent guy at least, if you get what I mean. So, yeah, anyways, about Nagi no Asukara. This show debuted started airing in 2013. That makes it almost 10 years old by the time this video is being created. 8 years old. Well, more than 8 actually. 8 and 2 months. But anyways, if you take this anime, watch it, compare the audio, compare the animation, the art style and all that to modern day anime, I dare say that it's still able to compete quite well. Or if not, just straight up win against modern day anime. And that just shows that even though an anime is old, past a certain year, it doesn't really affect the viewing experience that much. Because, anime, movies, all these things, they're mainly a story, not, something to watch. You're watching it, yeah, that's how you're consuming. But what you're actually consuming is a story. It's still a work of literature in the end. Sad thing about it is it's original. It doesn't have a manga source, doesn't have a light novel source. So if you wanted to watch more, too bad. But at least the anime left us at a good spot, so it's fine. It's fine. And the studio, PA Works, it's a myth studio for me before I watched Nagi no Asukara, but after I watched Nagi no Asukara, it became a studio to look out for me personally. Right now, they're working on a show called Shiroi Suna no Aquato. For me, I'm really excited about it because the main color theme is the same as this. Their other works have left me slightly disappointed. I mean, I'm comparing them with this one, for goodness sake. But because of how similar the color theme and the character designs for Shiroi Suna no Aquatop and this one, I have really high hopes for it. And because of that, I am not watching it right now. I'm going to binge watch it after it ends. Because, boy oh boy, I do not want to be left on a cliffhanger with these kind of things. Next is Golden Time. The issues here, how the characters are written, they're all mundane. Sure, some of them has a quirk or two. Some of them are special, but it's not special in a way that's completely outrageous and straight up fantasy. It's just like, oh, this character's rich. Oh, that character's smart. Okay. But all in all, it's still a very realistic scenario that could possibly happen to you. So if you're one of those guys who like to empathize with characters, this is the show for you. This is the show to watch. Plus, I really like the song "Sweet and Sweet Cherry." Yes, it's an actual song with a title. You listen to it. If you like it, comment on the comment section below. Because I don't know why many of my friends don't like the song. I love that song, and I also like the series. But yeah, moving on. Ookami to Koushinryou, Woven Spice. Now, as I said earlier, if you like this series, or if you trust my words and decide to watch it and you fall in love with the series, as long as you can stand through the art style, because Yes, it's slightly different compared to modern anime art style. You're gonna be in for a good treat because the story itself is well written, and you're also in for an economic treat because the economy that's depicted in anime is actually quite legit. So yeah, a little bit of history lesson, a little bit of economy class, and a little bit of waifu. Cause yes, waifu. I like this girl. I like this girl. But the good news I'm talking about is not that. I mean, that's old news. How many times have I said that kind of stuff on my channel? If you guys are my viewers. The good news is, if you want to be a part of the future of anime, or at least a potential future for anime, this is the series to watch out for. Why? Most anime we know it's 2D. Some of them use, live 2D, like Bang Dream Season 2, or it's almost 3D. Or if you count our Ruby or our WBY as an anime, 3D already. But the thing is, some of the original cast and the creator of this series made a new scenario and a new anime season. Well, not really season per se, it's complicated. But it's a VR anime. It's like VR porn, but anime. I mean, think about it. How many of you? I mean, I know for sure that I have experienced this. How many of us, otakus, when we watch anime, we daydream, we wish that we were a part of their world. We want to go to their world, but we can't. But well, with this VR anime, you're limited to certain aspects. I mean, you can't taste, you can't touch, but you can look at it. You can walk around and stuff. Well, you can't really interact, but you can spectate the characters from various different angles, which is something you can't really do with modern anime. Not yet, at least. I mean, think about it. Holo, which is the name of this girl, she's cute, really cute. But, I mean, ever had one of those times where it's just like, what? I don't want to see your back, I want to see the front. Or it's like, why is this angle weird? Or, if you like those weird angles and you're like, give me the low angles or the high angles. Well, this time, if you watch the VR anime, you get to decide what angle you want to watch it from, how you watch it, and how you interact, which position you're watching it from, and all that. You get to decide all of that. Now, given you need specialized tools, which is basically VR headsets, as far as I know, it's limited to HDF and Oculus Rift for now. But hey, even though I don't have access to it, the moment I have access to one of those, first thing on my bucket list is watch the VR anime of Ookami to Koushinryou. And if more and more anime makes these kind of stuff, I will just straight out make buying an Oculus Rift my number one priority. I mean, I already got a laptop, so it makes sense that I watch VR anime next, right? With an Oculus Rift or something. You know, it's like I want some of that too. I mean, sometimes they give me low angle when I want high angle. Sometimes they give me high angle when I want a low angle. Just let me decide what angle I want on my own. Okay? Okay? Good. And yes, for those of you who watch dubs, unfortunately, as far as I know, there is no dub version, but there are subtitles integrated into it. So, yeah, I guess. And if you're like me and you just watch it, you don't really need the subtitles because you understand the raw from watching too much anime. Well, doesn't really concern you that much anymore because yes, the language is in Japanese. They use the same voice actors for Holo and the main character, which is really good. And the best part about it is arguably the fact that it's not a remake, so it's not gonna be watching season 1 and season 2 all over again. No, this one picks up right after the end of season 2. So, yeah, it's a continuation of their story if you're strictly an anime watcher. If you read the light novel, hey, at least you get those stories visualized and, with audio as well. Plus the bonus of all the angles, if you know what I mean. Moving on, Oregairu. Now, this one is nice. There's a reason the light novel reached around like 24, 25 volumes, and that's including like 7.5, 8.5. Yes, the 24 count is not including the zero point 0.5 count. So if you're actually counting the zero point 0.5 volumes, it's got more than 30 books. And when a light novel serialized for that long, you know something is good about the story. But as an anime, there are cut contents and all that. But that's like an everyday thing for an anime. But all in all, it's still recommended. But the best part about it is, if you don't like how the story is told for the light novel, if you don't like how it ends, if you don't like how the characters interact with one another, how the characters end up with one another, or if you just want another girl as main girl, this series has actually been made into a game. And yes, it's a visual novel dating simulation game. So yeah, you can interact with the girl you like, you can get different endings and end up with the girls you actually want instead. And it's not limited to just Yuigahama and Yukinoshita. You can also go for Yukinoshita's older sister if that's what you want. You can interact with Trap if you want. You can interact with just about all the characters in the game. Well, not really all, but you get what I mean. You get to choose who you like from the available cast of the game. Unfortunately, it's an all-age game as far as I know, so you're not gonna have those hanky-spanky scenes. So yeah, but for those of you who only wants to watch the anime, don't worry. The game is not necessary to enjoy the anime, and likewise, the anime is not necessary to enjoy the game. Although knowing the story from the light novel or the anime will certainly increase your enjoyment of the game. Now, if you only want to watch the anime, beware because Season 1 was done by Brainspace, while Season 2 and 3 are done by Studio Feel. There is a very significant change in art style because, well, there's also a very significant change in the year they're released in. But at least the voice actors and the cast remains the same, and it's not too far of a character design change that it's surprising. Well, at least for everybody other than the main character, but who cares? I care, at least not from me. I care more about the waifu's character design than the main character's character design. Hikigaya might be cool. He might be my kind of guy. Yes, I have a similar personality as him, but I still care about waifus more than husbando characters' character design. Sorry, female viewers, but I am a guy. Really sorry for that. Horimiya, as I mentioned earlier, if you don't know this one, you're living under a cave, go watch it. And if you're done watching it, you want more, you want continuation, too bad that's not available. The manga ended where the anime ended, more like the anime ended where the manga ended. But there are skip contents, so if you want more of the character interactions, you can read the manga and you'll get the full story instead of, just the anime story. And yeah, it's basically that. It's the same thing, just manga with more content. It's enjoyable. So yeah, go ahead and try it out. If you haven't watched it, definitely try it out. You will not regret watching this series. Sayanai Hiroino's Datekata. This is one of those where it's mundane, it's realistic, but really rare. I mean, technically speaking, if you have a musical girl, an artsy girl, and a literature girl in your circle, you can. You can do this. You can have a similar scenario as this series. So it's not that far fetched, meaning you can still empathize with the character, but at the same time, it still hits off those otaku niche. It still hits that spot, that itch when you're watching a romance anime. It's really good, and even though there's two studios working on this, like with Oregairu, it doesn't have the problem that Oregairu has. What problem? Character design change. The character design between the TV and the movie is more or less unchanged. There are a little bit of changes, but it's negligible. Like, seriously negligible. And I also like the fact that they kind of referenced FGO in the anime. It's like, yes, I do play FGO. I might stream on Twitch some other time, but yes, I just like you guys to know that I do play FGO. So yeah, this is really nice as well. And if you're one of those who wants a definite conclusion to your romance anime or romance stories, uh, I mean, yeah, there's certainly a clear conclusion, just no hanky panky. So yeah, that's it for the 10 video recommendations and the discussion for romance genre in general. If you guys like the video, give it a like. If you guys subscribe, that'll be great. I plan on making a video for each genre along this line. If there's an old one, I might take the old one down because I feel like this style is better. So if you guys have any particular genre that you guys would like me to prioritize, put it in the comment section down below, and I will try to prioritize that. But yeah, I have been planning on continuing this series for a while now, so yeah. Um, anyways, if you guys like the video, give it a like. If you don't like it, give it a dislike. If you agree with me on something, you can comment down in the comment section below as well. If you disagree, same thing applies and all that. Please don't give me a dislike, I beg you. But yeah, it is what it is. If you decide to watch the anime I'm recommending, I hope you enjoy it. I mean, I know I did. So, see you next time on the next video.